Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to look at the chart describer in Thinkorswim. Um, this is a tool probably not many people are familiar with. I know that I've never used it, and I know it's been around for a while, but I just want to show it to you. Really all you need to do is just pull up a chart, and you can click on this button right here, and it will basically tell you, I guess, some of the most popular technical indicators for the current time frame that you're on. Something else that we can do while we're looking at this, if you want to pull up the sidebar, you can also add it to the sidebar. To do that, we just go click on the little plus sign right here and click on chart describer, and that will add it. And then from this point, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and just link it to your chart. Once again, I link all of mine in red here. So once you link this to red, now we can open this up. So it's got the 1 year, 1 day right here, a 1 day, 1 minute. And let me drag this down. And then we have a 5 day, 5 minute. So it's going to give you some information here on all of these time frames. And another way I think this is really helpful, especially if you're a new trader, you're probably not familiar with indicators and things of that nature. The really nice thing about this is on my chart right here, I don't have any indicators. I do have some trend lines that I've drawn a while back, but this will actually add these studies to the chart. So what we can do right now, we're on the 1 year, 1 day chart, or a daily chart is what I like to call it. And if we just click on Add Studies to Chart, it will add these two studies to the chart. Also, if you're not familiar with what these studies are, you can actually just click on the little question mark up here, and it'll give you a brief description of what that study is. Something to note in my research in this is when you add studies, what it's going to do is actually it's going to add in the default for that study. So something to note here, this standard deviation channel, this is actually an indicator I've used quite a bit in the past, and I can tell you right now that the readings here and the readings here are wrong, and the reason for that is because, let me just go into edit studies. We can see here it's over the 21 period. It's giving the upper value and the lower value. On this standard deviation channel here, and I went into studies and edit studies, but full range here is chosen as yes. Full range basically means it's going to take up the entire area of the chart. But we want it to only look at the 21 length. Basically, when full range is turned on, it's ignoring this 21 here. So if we turn it off and hit OK and apply, now it's only going to show the last 21 bars. 21 periods or periods typically just means the last 21 bars, whether that's days, minutes, hours, whatever your chart is. Since this is a daily chart, it's showing us the last 21 days. And now the numbers should line up. So 75 OT is the high range, 163 is the low range, and it looks like that is accurate now. Also note, this is the 9 period simple moving average, and the default for moving averages is going to be the 9 period. But every now and then this will show like maybe the 20 period or the 50 period. So like right here, actually, if we look at the 5 day, 5 minute chart for the same stock, obviously this is Apple here. If we pull up a 5 minute chart, I'm going to go back to studies, and I'm just going to remove all studies for a moment here. And on the 5 minute chart here, it's actually saying that the 50 period simple moving average is 196, while the 200 is 171. If we add these studies to the chart, and it shows 50 and 200, once we add these studies, it's only going to show the 9 because the 9 is the default study. But let's see if it only adds 1 or 2. So yeah, it just shows 1. So if we want to actually see this 50 period moving average, we just need to click here and actually change the length to 50. So now we have a 50 period moving average, and it's saying that the 50 period is at 169, the 200 is at 171. And we can see the 59 is right at 169 right there. Let's look at a few other stocks. So once again, like I say, I like to link all of my charts together, so it'll give us this stuff. But like if you're getting like to the low of the day, it'll show that, it'll tell you that, or the high of the day. It'll also tell you if the implied volatility is high. Basically, and I probably didn't explain it, what this chart describer does is it will add some of the most popular indicators that are in action at that time. So, if something is like, say, at RSI oversold or overbought, it'll actually show, that indicator RSI up here. Another thing is this will update. I believe it's every 5 minutes. Obviously, you can click here and update it as well. You can also go over here on the sidebar, and if you want to update the sidebar, you can do that right here. If you choose less than, I think, a 5-minute chart, or if it's 5 minutes and less, so a 4, 3, 2, or 1 minute chart, it's actually going to update at the same speed as the chart does. So if we use a 1 minute chart on this, it should actually update every minute. This info should update every minute. And now, we can look at maybe a few stocks here. So I've got my watch list linked right here. So as I go to a different stock, it's going to bring up other stuff, and we'll see if maybe we can get it to show. So like say, it says right here, the price is gapped up 0.96 in the past hour on the 1 minute chart. And then this shows still the 50 and the 200 period. Some of them, it'll actually tell you like it's crossed. So right here, it's showing that ACN, I'm not really sure what the stock is, but anyway, it's showing that it has hit the chart low of 298 in the past 10 minutes. So it's telling us we've basically just hit the low for this chart in the last 10 minutes. The 5-day, 5-minute chart is actually giving us a stochastic indicator. So we can actually choose the 5-minute chart. And once again, I'm going to go to studies here. I'm just going to remove all studies. And now we're going to add these studies to the chart. So what that'll do is that'll add the stochastic. It's going to add a simple moving average. Now this is the 50 period. Once again, it's going to add the 9 and then the standard deviation channel as well. But we can add those. And now we have the stochastic indicator down here. Adobe. So this is saying on the 1 minute chart on Adobe, it's telling us that the 8-minute EMA has recently crossed above the 13-minute. Sometimes it will actually add 2 of those for us when it's across. Let's see if it does. Let me move studies again. It's probably only going to add 1 though, but let's add them and see. Yeah, it's just added the 1. So, if we wanted to see where this crosses, we actually need to add another moving average exponential. But, it's definitely going to get you started, especially if you're not familiar with the indicators and how to add them. And if you want to, I guess, edit them. So, to make this chart look like that, so since this is showing the 8-minute has crossed above the 13, what we could do is add another moving average exponential here, since we already know what to search for. And we can choose the 8 and the 13. And I'm going to change the color of this because if you haven't noticed, all of our moving averages are all going to be the same color. And I'm actually going to remove this 9 period, the simple moving average. And now we can see where it's showing that it has crossed right there. So, and in this time frame, the 1 minute, it's actually already updated to something else because the cross has already happened and it's on a minute time frame. So AMD, it's telling us AMD, the price is gapped down 4% from the previous bar's low. It's telling us the close is below another indicator. I'm not familiar with this. So this is the parabolic. I think that's stop and reverse. I can't remember. Yeah, stop and reverse. I don't really use that indicator, but if we wanted to look at it, we could. That's the 1 year, 1 day chart. So let's go to a 1 year, 1 day chart. Remove all studies. Yes. Add studies to chart. So now it's brought up these indicators to the chart. And once again, if you want to remove these indicators, you just go to studies you can either go to Edit Studies, and then you can individually delete them, or you can just go to Studies and remove all studies, and that'll just give you a clean chart. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. I thought this was kind of a neat indicator that I've never used, and just in my short time researching it, it actually seems pretty helpful, especially looking at seeing what's happening on different time frames. So hopefully this was helpful to you, and thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.